Hello guys, welcome back once again. Till now we have covered 20 sessions on this CCNA and today's topic is DHCP. DHCP stands for the Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol and it is basically used to assign IP address to the host dynamically, right? It's like till now we were using static IP assignment. Static means that whenever we want to assign any of the IP address, let's suppose 110.1.1.1, we assign it manually on the host, and host means our computers, and then that computer uses that IP address to communicate. Another method we are going to use, that is, there is an option in the computer, obtain IP address automatically. Obtain IP address automatically. So that's it. So this is actually very important topic from the interview point of view. Lots of the interviewer asks just questions on this DHCP, and if you answer them in a very good way, or the interviewer is satisfied with your answers, they are going to select you. So this is a very important topic. You have to go through in a very nice way on this one. Okay, so let's try to understand that what actually benefit of this DHCP protocol. So let's suppose we are having just one computer from one router. Let's suppose we are having just two computers, right? Let's say add one switch as well in the between, and after that one computer and one more computer, right? And it is very easy to assign the IP address on this one, 10.1.1 and 10.1.1. to any of the IP address. I'm just taking the example of this 10.1.1 and 10.1.1.2, and you can just assign the IP addresses static. You go to the computer and assign that IP address to this host. Let's suppose this is PC1 and this is PC2. The problem becomes very complicated whenever you are having a very large network and you have to go to each and every computer and assign that IP address, right? Now it becomes very difficult for you to do these things. For that purpose we use our DHCP server. So what we do, we give assign any of the router, or you can give a dedicated server for the DHCP. That's also possible, but or you can use a firewall for DHCP server, and that server will be assigning an IP address to your host. So that is the job of our DHCP, because this is not good way, or in fact the logical to is go to the every computer and assign the IP address, because that's IP address. Computer is obviously who is owner of that computer, he will be owning that computer, and it's not good job or good way to being an administrator. You go to the computer and assigning the IP address over there using a static IP address. So rather than we use that DHCP, and IP addresses are automatically assigned to the computers. So now let's try to understand more on it, that how it goes on. Okay, so now we are having just two computers, and it becomes really easy when we are having just two computers and we can assign the IP address on just two computers. But it becomes very difficult whenever you are having multiple computers. Let's suppose you are having 100 computers connected from here, right? So whenever you are having 100 computers connected, and you are going manually to assign the IP address to each of them, 1.1.3, any of the IP address, right? So but it is very difficult to assign the IP address manually on 100 computers or 1000 computers. And if you have worked or not worked, in fact you have observed there's a lot of computers in any of the enterprise, and they are having thousands or 2000 or millions of the computers, and it's not easy for administrator to assign IP address one by one. So what they normally do, they use this DHCP server, right? So they use DHCP server to assign the IP addresses, and then each of the host is able to communicate using the IP address what has been assigned from the DHCP server. So the DHCP server has to take care that the IP address is not duplicate, right? So one by one it has to assign. So now let's try to understand how actually that DHCP process work. So let's suppose we are having one DHCP server here in this router. We can assign the IP DHCP server on the router, and then we are having one switch here, and then let's say just two computers here, and now you want the benefit of that our DHCP. You don't want to assign the IP address statically. So what you will do, if you observe that in the network adapter, let me show here where we normally do it. If you go to the IP addresses, where is my LAN, or you can just go to the run, and you can run this ncp.cpl, and over there you can use any of the option. These are the LAN adapter. You can choose any of them just to see from where I am getting the IP address. Okay, so in this case right now I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, that's thanks 5G, so I'm checking the IP address for that one. So there I want to check the IP address of the IPv4. So there I can check the properties, and if you observe it here, we are having the two options: obtain an IP address automatically or use the following IP address. So the first one, that obtain the IP address automatically, that is actually taking the IP address from the DHCP, and whenever we use this option, use the following IP address, it means that we can give the IP address, right? So let's suppose I have chosen this one, so now I can write the IP address 10.10 right now, what we have done in the lab as well. So like that we assign the IP address statically, but that is not practical whenever you are connected to the internet, or you are very good administrator and you know it that what IP address it is, or next time your provider may change the IP address. So it is very good to use the option obtain an IP address automatically. So now as you select that obtain an IP address automatically, now what is this computer has to do? In this computer, let's suppose you have chosen an option to obtain an IP address automatically. Now this computer has to find out the DHCP server. Its job is to, as you select it, it has to find DHCP server. So how does it find that DHCP server? For that one, it sends a discover message. Discover message means this discover message is initiated from the client to find out the server. Now it's tries to find out server, that who is the DHCP server here. So for that purpose, from this DHCP not DHCP, this client, let's suppose this is PC1. So from this PC1, this has to send some information to the server to find out the who is the DHCP server. So it is very important to know this information, that what is this sending in that information. So it is sending the four things. First, source MAC, source destination, then source IP. Let me write it here at the top. Source IP and the destination IP. So let me write it together because they are going together, so I'm cutting it out here and writing at the top. So source MAC and the destination MAC. So just listen very carefully that what information will be on this one. So source IP means because this request is being sent from PC1, so it's still it is running the DHCP, means it has no IP address, so it will send IP address as 0.0.0 because it's still in the phase of assignment of the IP. It has no IP address, so it will choose an IP address of 0.0.0.0. And in the destination IP address, because it has to be sent on the DHCP server, but still PC1 is not aware that who is the IP, what is the IP address of the DHCP server. So for that purpose, what it will do, it will try to send on the broadcast IP address. Okay, so what is the broadcast IP address? That is 255.255.255.255. So that it will choose the destination IP address as this 255.255.255.255. So whenever we choose this IP address, this information is
Anuj, no sound.
no sound. Is this what I am just said, that whenever we choose an option to this DHCP option, that is obtain an IP address automatically, that this PC1 has to find out the DHCP server. So for that one, it just uses this discover message to find out the DHCP server, and in that discover message it includes these information. So that it has to send what source IP it will be having, what will be the destination IP, where it is being sending, where it is sending, and then what is the source MAC address and what is the destination MAC. So as the PC1 is still not having any of the IP address, so it chooses the 0.0.0 as an IP address of the source IP address, and it does not know that what is the IP address of the DHCP server, so it uses the broadcast IP address, that is 255.255.255.255. and in the source MAC address it uses the MAC of the PC1 because that it knows, and destination MAC address is still not aware, and the PC1 does not know what is the MAC address of the DHCP server, so it is uses the broadcast MAC address, that is f.ff.ff. So it is, it can say that in the layer 3 it is broadcast because it is using the broadcast IP address, and in the layer 2, that is a MAC address, it is again using the broadcast because that is using the broadcast MAC address. Okay guys, any doubt till now in the discover? No? Okay, that's good. I hope this time I'm audible, right? Yep. Yes, I see.
Yes, you are.
That's good. So the next message, we are having the offer. So this offer message is received from the server. It's like from the PC you have sent a request to the server, that was the discover message. We have to find out now this server, our DHCP server, will reply back to this computer who has requested with the offer message. So in the offer message we have to just look the same thing, that what is the source IP, what is the destination IP, what is the source MAC, and what is the destination MAC. So in the source IP address, the server will use the IP address of its own, that is the server IP. In the destination IP, is still our that PC does not have any of the IP address, so server will reply again with the broadcast IP, that is 255.255.255.255. Source MAC address will be the MAC of the server, and the destination MAC will be the MAC address of the PC. So if we talk about the layer 3, so in the layer 3 it is still broadcast because it is using the broadcast IP address here. But if we talk about in the layer 2, in the layer 2 it is not using the broadcast MAC address, it is using the specific MAC address. So we can say that is our unicast. That is one-to-one communication is happening now in the layer 2. Clear, guys? So this is the very important thing, that this in the layer 2 it is unicast, and in the layer 3 it is the broadcast. Any doubt in this offer message till now? Okay, so now from the PC to server we have two messages till now. The first one was discover. The server has given an offer. Offer is like, in the offer what is doing, that it is giving the information of the IP address, whatever the IP address it has chosen, right? Because this is an offer that I have given you an IP address of 10.1.1.1, and we are having some more information. If I show you there, where it is gone here, yeah. So if you see it here, the IP address assignment, it is having these three information: the IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway. So whenever it is giving you an offer message here, so it is having the combination of all three, that is IP address, default gateway, as well as the subnet mask. So all three information are coming, and as well if sometimes DNS is also required, so DNS information is also coming to our computer. So these four information are reserved on the DHCP server, and now they are being sent using these method: the source IP, destination IP, source MAC, and destination MAC. Once these things are done, now this computer has received the information that I have been offered an IP address of 10.1.1. Now what it will do, it will send an acknowledgement. No, not acknowledgement, that is request first. Now it will request, okay, now please assign this IP address to me, right? So the first message is discover, second is offer, and the third one is request. So now it is requesting the server that, okay, I'm happy with this IP address, please assign it to me and confirm at your end. So in the request, let's see the four information once again: source IP, destination IP, source MAC, and destination MAC. So anyone having clue that what will be the source IP, destination IP, source MAC, and destination MAC in the request message? Anyone? Some information, anything, you can say wrong as well, I don't have any problem. But what's your guess what it should be? Anyone? Nobody? Just a blind hint, I'm not to worry. No? Okay, let me tell you. So the request is going from the PC to server, right? Means the communication is happening from PC to server. So the source IP is still we are not sure, because the IP address assignment is not done yet, so it will use the IP address as 0.0.0. Destination IP address, again it will use the 255.255.255, and the source MAC will be the MAC of the PC, and the destination MAC will be the MAC address of the server. So this is the difference between the discover and the request, that this destination MAC address is now known to the PC and now it is directly communicating to the destination MAC. So this time again this information layer 2 communication is happening on the unicast, and the layer 3 communication is happening on the broadcast, because that is using the broadcast IP address here. Okay guys, till now any doubt from anyone? We have covered 3 messages till now: discover, offer, request. 3 messages we have covered, and if you have any doubts then I can hold on, otherwise I will move to the 4th message, because there are 4 messages it does for the IP assignment. No? Okay. So the 4th message is the acknowledgement. So let's revise once again what we have just learned. So the first message is discover. It tries to discover the server. Okay, and the discover, then it server replies back with the offer that this is the IP address I want to assign you. It requests that from PC to server. The PC requests okay, that is okay, I'm happy with this IP address whatever you have offered me. And once the server receives that request, then it acknowledges okay, whatever the IP address I have assigned you, that is confirmed. So after the acknowledgement, the information is confirmed and the IP address assignment is done. And if you talk about that same information, source IP, destination IP, source MAC, and the destination MAC, then the source IP will be, anyone can guess what will be the source IP?
The one assigned by the server, 10.1.1.1.
10.
Like in the example.
10.1.1.1. Okay, and what is the destination IP? The first important part is that the communication is happening from the server to the PC, right? So the source IP will be of the server IP.
Okay. Server, yes.
And again, the destination IP, although it is sending an acknowledgement, but still that PC has to receive that information. So we will not use the IP address what the PC has requested for. Rather we will use the broadcast IP address, that is 255.255.255.255. okay. What will the source MAC and destination MAC? I think that's quite simple. What will be the source MAC?
Source MAC is server, the MAC address of the server.
Exactly, MAC of server. And the destination MAC will be the MAC of the
PC.
That's quite good. So we have covered the 4 messages. That's discover, offer, request, and acknowledgement. So that is also known as the DORA process. Means that whenever we are having the IP assignment via DHCP, people used to ask in the interviews that what is that DORA process in the DHCP. So you have to explain these four messages, that how the IP address assignment is being done to the computer. So these things are very important, that what are the communication happening, that what is the source IP address in every these four fields only: source IP, destination IP, source MAC, and destination MAC, and that's also in the all four messages. Once you assign those one, okay. Okay, yeah, just hold on, guys. Yes. So I was there. So till on in this all four processes, do you have any doubts in four processes, that what is happening? Then we can jump to the lab, that how actually this is happening. Any doubts till now from anyone?
How the discovering process happens?
The discovery.
Yes, the discovering process. How the pieces, the host find out the server.
Okay, yeah. So what is happening in the discovery message? Let me repeat it once again. So let's suppose this is your DHCP server, and it is connected via one PC. So as you choose our that IP address, assign IP address automatically, what it does, that this computer initiates a message, right? What it does, it have some information like this source IP, destination IP, and source MAC, destination MAC, right? And inside these information, and this information is broadcast to our whole network. So this information is being broadcast to our whole network. Let's suppose we are having another routers connected over here, and it might be some other switch somewhere in between, and that might be some server as well here. That can be our DHCP server, right? So now what we do here, that source IP, whenever this PC is requesting that discover message, or in fact it is the PC which is trying to discover the DHCP server. So it is the PC which sets its own IP address as 0.0, and the destination IP address, it does not know that where it is the DHCP server and what is the IP address of the DHCP server. So for that purpose, it uses the broadcast MAC address 255.255.255.255. So you might be aware that whenever we are having that any information sending on this broadcast IP address, that information goes to all the computers, right? Suppose this PC has been requested, or any packet is being sending to discover the DHCP server, that packet will go to this computer. This information go to this router as well. Further, this packet will go to this router as well. This will go to the DHCP server as well. It might be some other computer connected over here as well. That packet will go to that computer as well. It goes to all the host connected on that network, because that is the broadcast packet. Now wherever the DHCP server will be there, that will respond it back with the DHCP offer request. Remaining this computer, this will discard it. Other computer, this will also discard it. So that's how it is the PC tries to discover the DHCP server. Is that okay?
Yes, got it.
Okay, that's great. So now let's jump to our lab quickly. Let's try to create let's take one switch as well. And some of the computers. So this is a simple topology I have created here. And now what we are going to do, because if we go to the computers here, so there's option right now static and the DHCP. So I will not assign the IP address static here, rather I will choose an option for the DHCP. But before that one, we have to configure the DHCP server. So I'm making this computer router 0 as the server. Okay, so enable config t, and for the assignment of the DHCP server, we can choose the pool first, that what pool you want to assign to the computers. So let's go to the DHCP. I forgot, yeah, IPDHCP. And if you just see the options here, the options are coming as the excluded address, pool and relay. So I am giving a pool, and then if I put the question mark, it is giving the option as the word or pool name, that I am giving the pool as pool 1, that I am giving or creating one pool 1. Okay, so now inside that IP address, in fact this IP pool 1, I can assign the IP addresses, that what of the IP addresses I want to assign to the computer. So I want to assign the IP address on the network 10.1.1.0 and network, okay, spelling is mistaken, network, and 10.1.1.0, and the subnet mask I want 255.255.255.0. and if I'm using this network, what will be the other things? There are 3 things: IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway, right? So, or you can put the question mark here. So default router you can put, so let's say the default router, let me put it here, 10.1.1.100, that whenever this DHCP automatically gets the IP address, it will set the default router as this 10.1.1.100. we don't have to set that IP manually. And if you want to configure the DNS as well, you can set the DNS server IP address as well here, what we see it here normally, obtain DNS server address automatically, so that will get from that DHCP server. But right now I'm not doing that one. You can, but you have an option, you can choose that one for the DNS server as well. So it's okay that IP address is done, DHCP pool we are having here, and let's go to our interface here, this interface G0/0/0. so interface G0/0/0 and IP DHCP or IP I think I missed the command or something. IP, or let me check it, interface, no shut, IP address 10.1.1.100 255.255.255.0, and then let's wait for some time, it will come up, and then we will check the it has assigned the IP address or not. So you see, if you see that it has taken this IP address 10.1.1.1 and the IP address has 255.25 sorry, subnet mask has 255.255.255.0 and the default gateway it has taken as 10.1.1.100. Clear, guys? It's how simple it is actually. The process of the DORA process and how the messages are being sent, that is quite complicated, but if you talk about the configuration, that is quite easy. You just have to assign the pool here, that which IP address you want to assign it to the computer. You can assign the default gateway, you can assign the DNS server what you want to configure on the nodes, and that is being automatically assigned it here. Let's check the another computers as well. Let's check, this is right now static. Let's check this as DHCP, and it has taken the IP address of that's 10.1.1.2 automatically, and that is being communicated from that our DHCP server, that router 0. So we have made that router 0 as a DHCP server. If we add one more computer here, let's say one more computer here and connect it, let's see what will be the IP address here. Guys, any doubt till now that in the configuration or in the process? From anyone?
No, it's covered.
It's okay.
Hello, Anuj.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody was asking something, looks like.
Oh no, I just wanted to ask about the security on this feature, DHCP, because anyone that connects to the network will be assigned an IP,
Right.
and they'll be able to access the network.
Right. So I will cover that DHCP security in the coming sessions, or I think at the last, because security is like some different topic. So, but I will cover it at least some basic level. No, but not today. But I will cover it because your question is quite
Okay,
genuine, because
thank you.
anyone connected to your computer, they will get IP address automatically, and they can start using your servers, right? So we will have some mechanism to detect it, right? So I will explain, but not today. So let's try to understand that our PC4 has it got the IP. It has got 10.1.3, and this has got the 10.1.1.4. So it is taking the IP address in sequence, right? This has got 1.1, that has got 1.2, 1.3, and that has got 1.4. What if we want to exclude some of the IP address? I want IP address to be reserved, right? So for that purpose, we are having the option of the exclude IP address, that IP DHCP, and we are having that command excluded address. So excluded address, and then we can give 10.1.1.0, in fact 1 2, and let me, okay, space is fine, 10.1.1.10. So now if we give this command 10.1.1.1 space 10.1.1.10, it means that IP address in this range will not be assigned to the computers. Okay, so let's try to have a look. But right now, if you see that it has automatic already assigned this at IP address 10.1.1.1, but that is in the excluded list. So it has assigned already, so it will be continue using this IP address. But anyhow, if you restart this computer, or you change from static to DHCP, then that IP address will not be assigned. And now you see that it has started assigning from the 10.1.1.11. It is not assigning the IP address from the range of 10.1.1 to 10.1.1.10. So that's the same thing you can do on the others as well. Or let me ping it right now from this computer, that in this PC1 we have the IP address 10.1.1.2. let's try to ping. Are we able to ping it to, or that is not valid anymore? So if I ping it 10.1.1.2, so it is pinging, not an issue. Success rate is 100%. It means that we are reachable to the 10.1.1.2. it means that this PC is having the IP address 10.1.1.2, and that excluded address is not working right now, because this excluded address works only during the assignment of the IP address, right? It just checks that whether I have to assign that IP address or not. If that is in the allowed range, it has assigned. Once it is assigned to the computers, they can keep using that IP address. There's no restrictions on that one. But if anyhow you shut it down, that computer, then it will not assign that in that range. Now it will take another range for the IP address assignment. So that's how it is. What about the computers on this one? Any clue for this? These computers, will they get an IP address? Anyone? Guys, any clue? What will happen to the other sites? Any blind guess? I will be quite happy with that as well. No? For that one, if you want to assign the okay, if you want to assign the IP address to these computers through that what is called our DHCP server, then DHCP server should be reachable from to these computers, right? But right now we see that it has these interfaces are not configured. So first I'm trying to configure the IP address on these interfaces. So Z000/1, I have assigned an IP address of 20.1.1.1 and I'm putting it no shut, and the same thing I'm giving it here. And this DHCP topic is very important. Always ask in the interviews, basically in the CCNA. If you are in the CCNP, then nobody asks you, but if you are giving an interview at the CCNA level, then somehow interviewer is stuck in the DHCP. And then interface Z0/0/0, and the IP address I am giving it here 10.1. Sorry, I have given it 20 something, right? Yeah, 20.1.1. so I have to give it here 20.1.1.2. I hope guys you are familiar with this IP assignment, that why I use the 20.1.1.2, not something else. And no shut. So now this link is up. I have to assign the IP address on this as well, right? Z0/0/1. Interface Z0/0/. Okay, so that's quite good question, and I want to ask you again. So guys, I know that it's quite long that we have discontinued our learning, and can anyone tell me that can we assign the IP address to this interface on the router 1 interface G0/0/1. Can we give an IP address from this range? Our network here, we have taken the network as 10.1.1.0 network, right, /24. Can we use the same IP address here, 10.1.1.0/24? Can we use it here or we cannot? Anyone?
No, every single interface has the different network.
Different networks,
So
but that for the same router, right? But this is a different router, so will that be allowed?
no.
Will not? Let me check it. Let me try. So let me try it here, 10.1.1.200. Okay, let's try to configure.
Okay, let's try to configure it.
It took it. It does not give it the
It does not give you the error.
who was speaking? I
Who
just
was
missed the name.
speaking? I just missed the name.
Hassan, it was you?
Hassan, it was you?
Yes, sir.
No, I think
No, I think
you said right that we
you
cannot
you
assign
said right that we cannot assign like
or someone else
or someone else
Rakibur.
or
Oh
Rakibur.
yes, it's fine.
Okay, it was Rakibur, right? Okay, so you said that we can assign that IP address here as well. There's no issue here, but still it is not recommended. I should say we can do it, but it is not recommended in the network that the same network we are having here and the same network we are having somewhere in other network. But it is possible, because why it is allowed and it is not giving the error, because they are the interfaces of the different routers. If it has been on the same routers, we cannot assign it and it will give an error that you can that should be on the different networks. But as they are two routers, router 0 and router 1, so it is allowing us. So anyways, I'm putting is no shut, and now let's see that has these computers got the IP address from it or not yet. That I'm waiting for this to change the color. And now let's check the DHCP. I want to show you something, so that's why I'm taking this example. Now if you see it here, it is saying that the DHCP is failed, right? Right, you see that DHCP failed, and it is saying something APIPA is being used. Anyone having any clue that what is this APIPA is that? What is this one? I have not told you till now. So this is actually what is happening, that whenever this DHCP fails, then the computer automatically assigns an IP address. Computer assigns IP address automatically. Means that it is not able to find the DHCP server, but still it is assigning the IP address. So whenever it is happening, it is always taking these IP address in this range. 169.254 is fixed. 169.254 is fixed, and these two octets can be any of the numbers. That can be vary. It just takes any values for that one for the remaining two octets. So this is actually a class B IP address. So whenever we are having the DHCP failed or the PC is not able to reach the DHCP server, you will see that IP address is being assigned in the range of something 169.254 dot something dot something. So that is called an APIPA address. I don't know the full form of this IPIPA. What is that one? I forgot it. Let me search it here in the Google if it helps. that is automatic private IP addressing, is a feature of Windows-based operating systems included in Windows 98, ME 2000 XP, and that enables a computer to automatically assign itself an IP address when there is no DHCP server available to perform that function. Okay, so that's how it is, the DHCP it is. And normally we use it for the, or not, in fact we use it, the computer uses whenever the DHCP server is not reachable. Okay guys, so now if the DHCP server is not reachable, what can we do? I'm expecting some inputs. What should we do if the DHCP server is not reachable? In short, I should say that this is not reachable, this router is not reachable from this computer, right? What can we do now? Anyone? I'm really excited to hear from you.
Can you perhaps configure dynamic
Routing protocol?
routing protocol?
Exactly. That
Yeah.
we can do that one. So we have two options for that one. Either we can use the dynamic routing protocol, that is OSPF or RIP, or any of the other dynamic routing protocol to make the reachability from here to the DHCP server, or you can use the static routes. So there's two options available here. You can either use the OSPF or the static routes that will configure on this router. And another thing, we will configure the IP helper address. That we configure on this interface to tell the information about the server. Once we do two things, then this PC3 will be able to get the IP address. So but that I'm not going to cover right now because it's quite late as well, but that's, I'm giving you this, you can take it an assignment or homework. There's two things you have to find out from the Google. You will search the Google, you will go simply get it. The first, just search the IP helper address, that what is this IP helper address, and then I think this routing you are quite familiar, that's not a big issue on that one. You can just simply configure the IP address and then routing protocols, and then it will be making the reachability, and then after that one it will get the IP address automatically on this PC3 and PC2. Okay guys, so just one assignment for to search or explore that what is this IP helper address and why we use it, and how the server is being found. Okay guys, so I'm stopping it here. If you have any questions till now what we have covered, then please ask. Any questions? No? So I hope today's session was fruitful, or you gained something or from it or not.
It was fruitful.
Fruitful, great, that's quite good.
Yeah, good.
That's nice. So because I'm here just to interact you and tell the new things. So today's DHCP is actually an interesting topic. So but it took I think in between there was some disturbances as well. So because of that it is stressed. Otherwise I would have covered this IP helper and this as well within 1 hour. But anyways, I will try to cover. Yeah, next
Next session or something.
Okay guys, if no questions,
Okay guys, if no questions, then I can stop here.